It might.
Yeah, it looks all professional. Have me little connected thing. It shows your picture.
Yes. And you
Okay.
sound better.
Okay. This is it.
All right.
I was trying to be ghetto and not
Oh,
download
oh,
nothing.
not get them. Well, we got it now. I have a skin secret. Do you want to hear it? Are you having difficulty keeping your skin moisturized? Is water, exfoliating, and face creams not working to achieve that dewy look you desire? Maybe facial oils are the key to healthy glowing skin. With Indira Skincare, you can get that no filter look naturally with the Rose Formula and the Maracuja Formula. The Rose Formula will moisturize and protect your skin with a blend of rosehip oil, jojoba oil, vitamin E, and essential oils to leave your skin with a dewy look and feel. Choose the Maracuja Formula for brighter, glowing skin with a blend of maracuja oil, grapeseed oil, and vitamin C to moisturize and enhance your skin's glow. To purchase your skin secret formula, go to indiraskincare.com as well as Facebook and Instagram at Indira Skincare. Trust, you would thank me later. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Where Did I Put My Glasses? I am your host, Carmen, and I am here today with the one and only Nickelodeon.
Hey, Carmody.
Nick, tell the people who you are and how to find you.
My name is Nick Brown, and you can find me on Instagram at NIC_ALODEON, which is an
Oh, that sounds like a song.
yeah. It's kind of like a different spelling of Nickelodeon, which was my childhood nickname growing up. And basically, it's a meme page. You might see me talking on it on my stories, but it's basically me posting memes here and
and,
there
and going off on the people.
and going off on the people.
And guys, his brother is Chris Brown. No, it's not the real Chris Brown.
The funny thing is, yes, he is. His name is Chris Brown. He ain't the real Chris Brown. However, when that whole incident with Rihanna happened, he went to a Halloween party as Chris Brown and his friend Rihanna dressed up like Rihanna.
Oh,
Yeah, I was like, you going to hell.
I gotta see them pictures. I gotta see those pictures. I do. Now,
and then also you can find me on YouTube at Vertical Elements, where you can check out my virtual coasters on there if you're into that.
yes, which I love, 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 love. He is so talented. So, like Nick, if you haven't noticed, he's the Nickelodeon to the Andody, and I'm the Carmody because of that. I know I couldn't remember the name, but guess what I did for us today? I Googled it. It was Heaven's
I
Gate, the
Googled
cult
it
of
too.
cults.
I just Googled it too. I was like, Heaven's Gate.
No, because we could not, guys. So we watch a lot of stuff. So we could not remember the name of this cult. And we love this dang on movie. Like, as you guys know, I'm obsessed with true crime. And so I love anything that's culty, crimey. I like to make fun of it. It's funny to me. I know it's not funny, but I mean it is a little bit. And it's just
it low
the
key
stuff
is
that
funny.
it is. It is. And like it wasn't funny that they died and that they were manipulated. It was just like I felt like the names were stupid. Like what was the name of the people?
All the Odies. And then the funny thing is, as we were watching it, we were trying to figure it out when we heard their real name. Okay, this is gonna be their name, and then it's totally different. And we're like, but you're not following the Odie principles. Like your name is Renee, you should be Renodi, and then it's like Eoe, and I'm like,
no, it's not working. And then the leaders was T and Del.
And can we talk about the bob haircuts?
Oh no. I cannot. Guys,
oh my God, Carmen.
What?
So yesterday when I was walking to go to the Alchemist Garden, there was like this little cult in the middle of downtown Paso, and they were having church. And no, and I have to sing you the song that they were singing. The lyrics was like, "I wanna go to the future and bring him back, and bring him back," and I was just like, "What the fuck? Like the future? Bring who back? Jesus from the future? He don't want to come back here."
No, it's ghetto here.
And it was just so bizarre, and I was like, "Oh, this is some cult shit." Like, this is crazy. Yeah, it happened yesterday.
Paso is like its own freaking world. It's mini Napa, and I explained that to you guys before. It's beautiful, but it was just like I had to put my car in F and fly the fuck out of there. It was just not for me. The only great thing that came out of it literally is Nick.
Oh.
No, really, because like that shit was like in the Alchemist Garden.
Yes.
We love the Alchemist Garden, guys. If you ever go to Paso, the Alchemist Garden is the place to go. They have celestial drinks for every zodiac sign. Just the craft drinks as a whole, they're like alchemists when they are the one and only alchemists when it comes to the alchemy of drink making.
Oh yeah.
And we love them. So, and their food too. But it's just crazy. Like the stuff that goes on in Paso is crazy. And I thought I was just the only one. It's only right that they have a cult.
There you
go. They have to add that to the craziness. I can't. Please make sure I get a video of that. I'm mad you didn't send it to me.
You know what? I did get a video. I did not. You know, I have a video of it. I'll send it to you. Okay. I will send it to you because I meant to send it to you last night, but then I got distracted. But I do have a video. Just talking about this cult stuff kind of triggered that. Oh yeah, that did happen yesterday.
Guys, when I get the video footage, I will let y'all see just a snippet. Just a snippet. I'm gonna put it up on the Instagram.
And you know, I had to do that incognito video.
The one
like
behind
I had
the
to
bushes.
do it like I'm not filming you, but my phone is just beside my body in a weird position. Just filming.
So guys, Nick is not only one of the funniest people I know, but and talented. Hello, with his he makes the most amazing roller coasters, and we'll get into that. But he also is a property manager, and he not only keeps the community together, but he gets these people together too. Okay.
Yes, I do.
Yes, and I'm happy how strong you say yes I do. He don't be playing. It's just crazy. Paso's crazy. But he has been a part of my California family now for a little bit over a year, and it was love at first sight.
It really was. It really was.
It was like, oh, you black, I'm black. We love true blood. Let's be friends.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, so just to how I met Carmen, she had called. I think she sent a email first looking for a one bedroom. Then she had called and we had talked on the phone. And this was during the
Panini.
During the Panini, the height of the Panini the California lockdown was brutal.
Yes.
So I couldn't have her come to the office. I had to meet her outside. And so I met her outside and we went on a tour, and it was so funny because like Carmen's all I can see is her eyes. That's all I can see. And just her reactions of like she liked it, but it was not enough space for her things. And I was just like, we'll figure this out. You got this closet over here in the living room. You know, you got space in the garage over here. And, you know, just trying to sell it because that's my job, you know. So, and towards the end of the tour, she was sold on it. And as we were getting ready to put in the application, I looked at her and I said, I'm just going to tell you this right now. Me and you are going to be friends.
And we were.
In here. And she kind of looked at me. She kind of, okay. I was like, no, I'm serious. We're going to be friends.
No, and we are. And we are. We literally created our own little family. Like, it was just, no, Nick, we have too much fun. That's what it is. We have too much fun.
Do you feel that, like, I know for me, I feel this way, that even though we've only known each other for a little over a year, it feels like we've known each other our whole lives?
It does. It does not feel like, it felt weird when I just said like a little over a year. I'm like, that just doesn't.
That don't seem right, right?
Mm-mm.
The math is not right on that, but it's, I guess, we had like this weird kind of Kendrick soul connection.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's divine. We were meant.
Yes. Yeah.
We were meant.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I believe that. I believe that. Now, I won't lie. Like when we met, I think no, the Alchemist wasn't the first place I went to when we met. I ended up going to Fish Gaucho.
You went to Fish Gaucho.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go with you. You went with Andy.
Okay.
You went with Andy, and I just happened to be walking downtown with someone else. And I think you guys walked over to the Hatch to get drinks because that's where I saw you.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is, I had my full mask on because you remember then we still had to walk around with masks on outside.
Yes.
And you guys were sitting outside and you were eating, and you were like, Nick, and I'm like, what? And then she was just like, it's Carmen. I was like, oh my God. I was like, you recognize me with my mask on?
No, I did. Andy. It was the eyes.
Yeah, it was the eyes. Yeah.
So I have photographic memory. Mm-hmm. I don't like looking at people's stuff. Like, I don't want to know, because I will remember that shit. I will see it, and it's locked in my memory forever once I see it. So I try not, but I did. I remember exactly. And you can't miss me, guys, especially like anywhere. Like I'm usually, my nails are long, my weave is blonde.
Back then, you had the red dreads.
I did have the red dreads.
The red braids then.
Mm-hmm.
The long red braids.
I'm always like, my hair is always loud, my nails are always long, my clothes are already short, my ass is fat. So it's like, you see me.
Yeah, I'll see you. And so I think it was the following week where you came by the office, you dropped off your moving inspection sheet, and you were supposed to have a date on Hinge, and he flaked, and you were like, do you want to go to dinner with me? I want to try this place, The Alchemist. And I was like, oh, I want to try it too. And then we showed up, and we were matching in yellow.
Mm-hmm. No, I didn't have a date.
You didn't, either your date canceled or whatever, and you wanted to go out, remember?
No, we didn't. I didn't start dating until, which one? Remember, I didn't start dating until like later that fall. I invited you out to The Alchemist, and you said you wasn't sure. No, you said you wasn't sure because you had a date and you'll let me know.
Oh yeah, it was me. Oh my God,
yes,
that
you
all
had
the way
date.
around.
You had the date, and you said you would let me know, and I said okay.
Yeah.
And then you said no. The date ended up being the next day.
Yeah.
And we met at The Alchemist. I was like, I didn't start dating until the fall when I met. Who? We're not gonna say his name.
Yes. So no, we're not.
Yes, but we had.
I be getting my stories all mixed up sometimes because I'm old.
You're not old. You're not old. You just, you're just a bigger, younger person.
I am
a bigger, younger person because you're childish.
Yeah. Old and childish. I get that from my grandfather.
Now, Nick and I have the funniest one. I will never forget. Remember when we were trying to put the sound bar together?
Lord.
Nick. So we decided we want a sound bar. So our love language is watching documentaries, movies, and shows, and commenting on them. If you're going to watch a show with us, don't think you're going to sit there and watch it.
No.
Because you're not.
We give you the commentary. We're the extras that you see that you find at the end of the DVDs.
Yeah. People probably don't even know what a DVD is.
Yeah, probably not, huh?
Oh, that means we are old.
Yeah.
Oh, don't be putting us out there like that, Nick. Talk about at the end of the day. Don't do that. That was real shady.
But I'm so sorry.
We was trying to put this sound bar together, and it's just two nice young ladies just working really hard.
Well, let's tell the truth, Carmen. Let's tell the truth. First, we went to taste and had a few drinks.
We did.
And then we came back and then we ate an edible.
All right. Yes. I didn't want to. Why you got again put me out there like that? So yeah,
we was
we was.
we was under them because I'm telling you, Carmen is one of the smartest people I know.
Oh, thank
So
you.
it's just like no, like we were under the influence.
And we could not
And
figure out any of the compartments. We didn't know where things to put things.
no,
How do you put things on? It was a point where I just sat there and I just put one shoulder up and I put the other one up and then I dropped them down. I couldn't.
yeah, we was holding the side of the TV trying to. It took us like almost 3 hours because I remember we got back to my apartment maybe around 7:30, and we didn't get it to work until like 10. And
They
we
need
were
a
so
sound bar for
tired.
dummies book.
We were, and then the movie and we both fell asleep.
Sure did. Sure did. That's the story of our lives together. So, what now that yes, it seems as if you're gonna be in Paso for a while. I just want to know, like, what made you like go into property management?
Yeah.
Like, what made you say, like, oh, I'm going to be a property manager?
It was kind of me when I first started. I started almost it'll be 9 years ago, September, and I was trying to get out of a work situation, just career-wise, where I felt stuck. Before I was in property management, I worked at an elderly home community as an activities assistant. And
kind of like
prior
Justin.
to me leaving, my boss was on maternity leave. And as me doing her part of her job and my job, they had bumped my wages up. And they had told me, hey, when she comes back, we'll just keep you at this weight. This is a perfect example of make sure you get stuff in writing when they tell you stuff. Because I was young and dumb, and I just took their word as face value. So when she had came back, they dropped my wage back down, and I confronted the executive director, and I said, hey, you were going to keep me at this dollar amount an hour, and this was not what was agreed upon. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, we have to put you back. And he was giving me corporate bullshit excuse as it was. So I was frustrated. So, and it was it was a rewarding job because, helping elderly people and talking with them and stuff like that. It's a very fun job, but the pay was crap. The insurance was crap. The hours were bad. There was no incentives and bonuses and stuff like that. So
that doesn't sound that appealing, working with old people. None of it, what you said, sounds appealing.
But you know what?
Just the people.
It's the people, because I love history. I love history, and talking to people that live through things we read in textbooks in junior high and high school puts a whole different perspective. Because growing up in the United States, when you're in school, they teach you what they want to teach you, and when you talk to somebody that lived through it, they're going to tell you the truth. And those are two different stories, So,
Nick, I won't lie. I did when I was in Santa Maria. I worked PRN with a long-term care facility, and when I say the stuff that they would tell you, you'd be like, "What the?" So I had like some ladies tell me like when you ask them like about marriage, they're like, "Well, the only reason why I got married because I had to."
Yeah.
Or I just wanted to get off the phone. Or I just was like, damn. Like, yo. And like I remember we did like we were doing like memory type of memory group, and one of the questions was, if you could do life over, what would be one thing you would do? And did you know every single woman put either not have kids or not get married?
Yeah. I believe it.
And a lot of like talking with the women, they also, because they're in their hundreds, they're centennials, and like talking with them, they was like, no, we had to get married back then. We couldn't work. We couldn't take care of ourselves. And I was telling one of the ladies that I got close with, I was like, well, they're always, shaming us, saying like, oh, women back then were able to keep a man. Y'all don't know how to keep a man. She was like, we didn't keep a man. We had to stay with them, else we couldn't pay our bills. Yeah. And that made sense. Like, I could work. I was a woman. And if I was able to work, trust me, I would have been out of
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
She was like, no, we didn't keep them. We didn't want them, but we had to
It's
stay.
yeah, so it opens your eyes working with them.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I needed to get into a career that I was able to succeed professionally
Mm-hmm.
and financially, and that just wasn't going to do it for me. So my good friend, that I've known since high school, I called her up and I was like, hey, I'm trying to find jobs anywhere. Can you think of anything? And she was like, hey, well, we have a leasing, position here at our job, leasing apartments. Would you be interested in that? You really don't need the experience. And I'm like, okay. And I went and interviewed, and a month later, literally took a long time. A month later, I was hired.
That's
And
not bad.
then I just started with that, got promoted within 6 months I became a project coordinator, where I had large capital projects for renovations, where like we did projects for replacing roofs. I've worked with replacing windows, toilets, front doors. Then I also picked up a turn coordinating kind of title, where we once the current resident moves out, we would, I would schedule all the vendors to come in and paint them out, clean them, and I would have to walk them, sign off, and get it ready for the next person. So I wore a lot of hats doing as a project coordinator, but it was burning me out. So many. So everyone calls me the jack of all trades, and I believe I could pick up any skill and just learn it. And the former manager for the property I manage now, who's actually your property manager where you live, he had sent me an email. And the funny thing is, he had sent me an email to my direct email, which I never check. And I took it as a sign. Like, I was at lunch with coworkers. I felt defeated. I was tired. I wanted to quit just because the level of work at the property I was at.
Wait, guys, in property management, they hang out with their coworkers. They like them.
We do. We like each other. I mean, because we gotta support each other in a way.
Yeah, I gotta teach other people how to do that.
It's kind. You know what it is? It's a us versus them kind of thing. We have to have a united front within ourselves to handle these residents.
Okay,
that's basically what it is. So it's an unspoken thing. Okay. So Pat, his name was sent me that direct email. He's like, hey, I came across your resume. I'm opening a new property here in Paso Robles. Would you be interested in being my assistant?
Wait, why white people like to say Robles? It's Robles.
It's Robles. Yeah. So
don't do that, Nick. Don't say Robles.
Paso de Robles, if we want
Thank you.
Go about it.
Thank you.
So I guess I say it two ways.
Robles.
It depends on the day and how tired I am. If I'm lazy and tired, I'm gonna say Robles.
It's like saying quesadillas.
Quesadillas and takeouts. And fajitas.
That sound like vaginas.
It does. Real do. So I interviewed, and the idea was to only be here for a year and a half.
Okay.
And take over the property and move on. Well, I just hit year 3. I'm still here.
Still there in Colty Paso.
Colty Paso, Colty, Trumpy Paso. But I'm looking to move on to my next project now. I'm still sticking with property management. I feel like that's the career I'm meant to be in for now, and looking to grow and open another community someplace else, preferably a little more south from here. Go into more in the corporate world. That's the end game kind of goal with this, is to work my way up to the point where I'm not on site anymore. Okay. I'm more behind the scenes.
Okay. All right. Because I want to, I don't know much. I know about your like your day-to-day stuff, but like I never really understood like property management and what do they do. Like, I just see you guys smile and make sure, we have parties and we do this and we do that. So like
Yeah.
I never really get to see, like I do get to hear some of like how it works with you with our conversations, but I always just think like, what else is it, right? Like
Yeah.
if you go into property management, can you one day become like a stakeholder? Like, like is that
You could,
possible?
depending on the company,
Mm-hmm.
depending on like, there's so many perks of being in property management. Like one of the things that works for me in the state of California. So if you were to go for your real estate license, right,
Okay.
you have to take the courses and do all that stuff. If you're outside of if you don't work in property management, let me clarify that. So if you don't work in property management, you have to take so many hours in courses, and then you take the test, which for it's the second hardest test in the state of California to pass, next to the bar.
A real estate exam?
Yes, because there's
Jeez.
so much law.
Okay.
And people in California, for the listeners, people are very sue happy here. So you have to be
they
on
are
your A game.
litigious, let me tell you.
Yes. They don't like you. I'm calling my lawyer. I'm just like, go ahead, call her. So I'll call mine. That's just how it works out here. So you get your real estate license and you work under, somebody for a while. You get your footing. And then after some time passes and you say you want to become a broker, because that's what you want to do. You want to be a broker.
The broker's where the money's at, right?
A real estate agent, your broker collects some of your commissions. You are a broker, that's your money.
Okay.
So you can, when a broker, you could open your own practice. You can do other things with it. So you have to take so many courses for that and pass and go through that kind of thing and add that to your real estate license of being a broker. So that does take additional time. Okay. Now, since I am a manager in property management, if I were to get my real estate license and pass the test tomorrow, I can automatically apply and get my broker's license because I have property management experience, and that is part of time served with that.
Okay, so it's like the gateway, the fastest gateway to brokerage.
Yes, because when you get a brokerage license, you have to go into a certain field of study. Like, it's kind of like you get your bachelor's degree and then you go for your master's and you go through your doctorate and you kind of zone in on where you want to be. So it's the same thing with like you getting your real estate license and then getting your brokerage license, because when you get your brokerage, what's your expertise? Is it going to be commercial property? Is it going to be residential? Is it going to be multifamily? And so I fall under the multifamily category. So since I've worked the experience, and you got to work so many hours, you got to do all of this stuff, I've already worked it. It can go straight for the license.
So you hear that, people? So for people who are looking into like real estate or brokerage or becoming a broker here in Cali, that's the way to do it. Property management, get your foot in the door.
And there's other perks with property management. A lot of the times when you're like the leasing agent and coming up, you get incentives and leasing apartments. You get quarterly bonuses. There's a lot of things that my company does as far as benefits wise, even though I complain about it all the time, but the benefits package is wonderful, especially when you're on the up and coming. Like you get so many hours of vacation time a year, so many hours of sick time, and then accumulates yearly. So once you hit your third year, now you're earning even more.
So it carries over.
Benefits. Yes. So for
I like that.
Like for me, I've been in this industry for so long, I don't have to pay for my medical insurance anymore. The company pays for it.
I wish somebody come and pay for my insurance.
Exactly, because insurance is not cheap. All I got to do is pay for dental and vision, and they cover my medical. I accrue 300 hours of vacation a year. I hardly ever can take vacation. So just to have it is great. They give you personal time, like if you need mental health days. If you're going back to school and you're going to school to become a real estate agent, they will pay for it, your real estate license.
Oh, I like this. So question.
Mm-hmm.
if they do pay for your real estate license, like I know with speech, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, when I was going to school for communication disorders in New York, they had a teach program. And so, like, if they paid for my master's, I would return 5 years of my life to
Right.
the Department of Education because they paid for my master's. Is it the
Yes,
same?
it's the
Okay.
same. It's not 5 years, it's 2 with this company.
Okay.
So, because the real estate license, you have to renew every 2 years because there's continuing education. Because again, California
Mm-hmm.
laws change every day. So, you
Mm-hmm.
have to go to continuation school for your real estate license and for your brokerage. You have to do it. So, like, let's say you have to put in work for 2 years, and if you renew it and you pay for your renewal, then I mean, you keep your license. Now, if you were
Okay.
to quit your job or you get terminated within those 2 years, then they keep your license.
Ah.
Or you have to pay the company back and you can keep it.
Oh.
So
Okay. I
either,
was about to say that's messy.
yeah, it is messy.
That's messy.
But
So,
at least they give you the option, like, hey, you got this. You know. So there's other certifications that you can get. Like there's like things called CAMs and CIM licenses, things that look good on your title when you are a property management, and those are things that I'm going to be working on in the near future.
mm.
Just because it's great resume builders, you know.
Well, thank you. Like, because that's like a good life hack. Because sometimes I find like people, they don't understand. Like, there's so many careers out there, and that's what I love about doing this podcast. I meet so many people through my travels and learning about so many different careers. I feel like if people had more knowledge of what careers are out there and the steps you can take to be successful in that career, they would I guess step themselves outside of the box. And of course, there's ways to get money. You could be a business owner, you could be this, but find ways to do it, right? Like that's a life hack.
It
Like
is.
go in property management, they'll pay for the real estate license, give them your time to, not saying like, oh yes, just use a company, but it's still a life hack.
Yeah,
You know?
it really is. And you have to find in anyone in any profession, in any corporate job that you have, or you have to, or even education or law enforcement, you have to, with that company you're with, you have to really, really study the benefits and see what the company can do for you. Because,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we work our asses off, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and we have our 9 to 5 jobs and we're tired all the time and we got to, you know, the world just doesn't stop. You got to find a way for that company to invest in you as well, you know?
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
so like, if you want to get that real estate license, if you want to get a certain certification, if you want them to, hey, like if you're in education and if you want to get a certain credential and the school will pay for that for you because it's better for you in the long run, do it, you know,
Yep.
just do it.
Yeah. And you know what's so crazy? As you said, as the world turns and continues to turn, I have my mover globe and it's just like sitting here turning on my desk while you say that. I'm like, yes, yes, it is. Now that you told us all like you told us the good, but what is some bad? I want to hear some of the bad and the ugly of property management.
The
Those are
bad
some
and the
good
ugly.
stuff. I want to hear
So
some of the bad and the
yeah,
ugly that
being
that thank you management.
so there's two terms. There's me being a property manager, and then there's me being a landlord. Landlord is kind of like the slur word to use for people in my position, because landlords in this climate economy, and even for quite a while, is always viewed as greedy, as money
Greasy.
hungry and greasy and cut corners and all of these things. And yes, there are some people out there that has that reputation, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not that way.
Okay.
So it's interesting to me because I see, you know, certain residents here and they have a great moving experience. Everything's great, and then they get their rent increase letter. And then it's, oh, you're trying to nickel and dime us and blah, blah, blah. Everything that's wrong with their apartment, and you guys are doing this and that. And I'm just like, well, if we are not doing our jobs, according to you, you should have brought it to our attention, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's always a money and nickel and dimes game when it comes to rent increases. But what people don't understand is that it costs so much money to run a property. And I will tell you, we here in Carmen, you lived here, so
yes,
it's a brand new community. We have been open for 3 years, and we are just now turning profit. And it's not a lot. It is not a lot of money. It's thousands of dollars, not like hundreds. We don't. In your first couple of years in a new build, like you're under. You're in the red for years. And to try to turn that profit, because there's a lot of things that you have to, that a lot of people don't think about outside of paying the staff. That what we rely on. We have landscapers. Landscaping contracts can cost between $4,000 to $10,000 a month, depending on how large your property is. And then you have all of the common area electricity, gas, water, and sewer that the residents don't pay for. That's in the tens of thousands of dollars to keep running. The constant ordering of maintenance supplies, because things break down and light bulbs go out, or need to replace a faucet or a toilet or an appliance, and then we have our vendors. Like, we have to pay for advertising. We have to pay for just anything that you can think of. Then we have our support team, where we have to pay for our accountants, and it just goes on and on and on and on and on and on. So the big conversation right now, and everyone knows in the world about these eviction moratoriums and how it keeps getting extending, which is great for the people that really, really are affected and have lost their jobs and all that stuff. But there's also people out there that are taking advantage of not paying their rent. So,
question: does that catch up to them in the end?
It will catch up to them in the end when they decide to stop the eviction moratorium. Now, here's how tenant law works. So there's the federal government. They set a law in motion. Now, the Supreme Court just overturned Joe Biden's extension. So now eviction moratorium is done. However, if you live in a state like California law supersedes federal law. And then county law, what county you're in, like you're in Alameda County, if they have more stricter rules, they supersede Sacramento, California law. And let's say Oakland itself, like Oakland for you specifically, like you have tax on parking. You have a parking tax.
Yes, I have to pay for parking.
You have to pay for parking and pay like a 9% tax on that?
Don't give me the line. I don't know, Nick.
It's something like that. It's crazy.
No, but honestly, guys, it does sound crazy, but it's really not a lot. It's like $12.
So once you get down to the local level, local level supersedes anything. So if the Supreme Court says you can start filing evictions, but Oakland says no, we are not doing that, we are extending it, we have to listen to Oakland. Like if we did that in Paso Robles here, we have to listen to what Paso Robles says. Robles.
I can't take the Robles.
So it does catch up to them. However, some people are using that as an excuse to fight rent increases. And mind you, people may be here, especially this community. I get complaints from people that make $200,000 a year and saying that they're struggling and the economy is bad. I'm like, yeah, the economy is bad, but not for you. And so for me, as a person, I do feel for my residents that are going through the struggle, and I work with them, and I said, you know what, we'll work out some sort of arrangement. I will not go through an eviction process with you when it comes to that place. We want to work with our residents before we go through courts, right? Because it just gets messy. And that's every property I work at. We want to work with our residents. A lot of residents don't see it that way, or they try to avoid us. But at the end of the day, somebody has to be paid, because I don't know if you were familiar, like the people were trying to do rent boycotts, right?
No, I didn't even know
So
about
that
that.
happened in New York. That happened in larger areas, in larger cities in LA, where people were gonna they were gonna try to get groups of people and rally together to stop paying rent because of the pandemic. So here's the issue with this. The moratorium is for...
You know, I never knew how to say that word. Say it again.
Moratorium.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That one.
So actually, I learned that from Disney. With their stupid vaults. And this movie's going in a moratorium. So when I worked for Blockbuster, and that's a story for another day. With the moratorium, it protects the renters and it protects homeowners. And when you are renting and you're not paying your rent because your purpose is not paying your rent, let's say if everyone on my property decides to not pay rent, then the owner of the property cannot afford to pay the mortgage on the land and the taxes for this property is high.
Yeah,
it is super high.
The taxes in California are high.
It costs as much as a BMW a month for the taxes for this property. Just to put it in perspective. So
if you haven't noticed, we're BMW drivers, guys. We're those people.
Yes, we are. We bougie. Bad.
No, we're those people. You know, people always make jokes about us, BMW
it's
people.
Okay. It's okay. You know what? They jealous. It's okay. But let's say if they all decide to not pay rent, and then our owners can't pay the lender. So then worst case, what's going to happen? The bank's going to default, or we're going to default on the bank. The bank's going to come seize the property. And then if they come seize the property, they're just going to be like, okay, everyone get the fuck out. So what does that doesn't do anyone good.
Because now we're all homeless.
Because now everyone's homeless, you know?
If I'm gonna be so mad. Here we're fine here where I'm at.
Yeah.
But I would have been mad if I was living in Paso and you sent me an email. I was like, Nick, what the fuck is this? What you mean?
Exactly. So that's the big picture we have, and that's what, from me having to be on calls with my owners, that's what frustrates them about some residents because they have multiple properties, and some residents taking advantage, because at the end of the day, it does hurt somebody, even though we're all hurting relative some type of way with COVID, whether it's mental or financial or whatever. But on the financial standpoint, we get it.
Exactly.
We are willing to work with you, but for the people that do take advantage of it and don't pay, it could come back to you.
I don't like that.
I don't like that either.
Let's see, and that's why we had to I'm happy that you addressed that, because people don't realize, especially the people who can't. So we're not talking about the people who are directly affected by the panini. We're talking about people who are taking advantage of the systems in place to protect the people who are affected by the panini. And that I don't like. And it's we got to get those people together. You know what I mean?
And here's the thing, and I can tell you this: I income qualify everyone before I say yes, they're accepted. The people that are taking the advantage of the system are the people that making the most money.
I believe it.
Yeah.
And you gotta get them together. Thank you, management. Okay.
Yeah.
and whether it's your renters or people at work or people out here in the streets, it's always somebody you gotta get together. It's why do you have to do all these crazy things? Why do you have to always it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
Speaking of getting people together, outside of COVID and financial stuff, other ways where I have to get people together, just fun stuff of property management, Carmen. The fun stuff. So we have residents that like to, bend the rules. Everyone likes to bend the rules in a way and try to get away with it, even though we see what's happening. But we have so much going on. If we see it, we'll address it. Hey, we noticed that your roommate was doing this and doing that. That's against, your lease agreement. Oh, I'm sorry, Nick, blah, blah, blah. Okay, don't let it happen again. And usually what it is here. But then we have the Karens. And I gotta tell y'all, when you have Karens that live where you work versus just seeing them in public and they are being filmed on TV, it's annoying because now they're your resident. So, Carmen, you know the Karen that I'm talking about. That used to live around the corner from me. Yeah, that she would call and complain about her neighbors doing whatever, and she would play the victim. But then when I find out from the actual neighbor in question, she was an instigator. She instigated a lot of situations. Like one situation where her neighbor across the way put up a Trump flag on her balcony. Now that is a big no-no. You are not allowed to put political affiliated signs on the structure of buildings. So I called her and I said, you know what? I was like, I'm not trying to single you out, but I'm just giving you a call that you have to bring your political flag inside to your apartment. It cannot be on the building. And I was very respectful. And she understood. She's like, thank you, Nick. Thanks for being respectful. I was like, I'm calling everyone. I was like, it's not just you. There is everyone that put out signs. I have to call them. But it was mainly her. And because her neighbor, the little Karen next door, complained. Right?
In all fairness, I don't want to see no damn Trump flag.
I don't either. So she hung it outside. So she hung it as a curtain. I can't do anything about it because it's inside her apartment. So Karen calls and she was real upset about it. So she puts up Biden flags on her window that faces this lady's apartment.
As she should.
As she should. But this is where it gets a little irritating for me to worry about. I don't like people being childish, especially when you're grown adults. And so when the Trump lady moved out, because there was other issues going on, and she decided to move out. And Karen had called and she said, "Oh, she's being mean and da 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 da, and she's like flipping me off as she's moving." I said, "She's moving. Let it go. What do you want me to do? She's moving. Let it go." Right? So, and I said, "Don't pay her no mind. Stay in your house. Don't pay her no mind." So after she turned in keys, she's like, "Nick, I'm going to send you an email." The Trump lady sends me an email about how she was tormented by this Karen by like blasting, certain types of music to piss her off and just do like little petty stuff here and there. So that's why I knew she was doing that, but it's just little stuff like that. So those are kind of things with property management, is when you have to deal with people's personalities and
their personal problems. That's not my
problem. And a lot of the time it's childish.
It's like, y'all are adults. Like, why is that? Like, I won't lie to you guys. I've had issues. Like, I had an issue with my neighbor who lived upstairs. He's depressed. He's so sad. Life sucks for him. He's never happy. If you say, "How's your day?" he'll be like, "It was terrible." Yeah, remember that book when you were kids? I had a no good, downright horrible day. Whatever that book was, that's him every day. But when he would get on my nerves, I would tell him. I would go knock on his door. I would text him, "You are the problem. What am I gonna call you for? What you gonna do about it?" I'm gonna go to the problem. I'm going to the source. You, my friend, are my problem.
And so what a lot of people don't know. So for those of you who live in apartments, this is what happens when you call and complain about your neighbor, right? So we call the neighbor and tell him, "Hey," and we stay completely anonymous. "Hey, we've gotten a couple of calls." We say that, they know exactly who called them. And then proceed to spill tea on that person who called initially, on you. And they will tell me, "Oh, this person's doing this and this person doing that," and then it doesn't get anywhere. It really doesn't.
It just becomes a mess fest.
It turns into a mess fest, and then people are irritated with each other the entire time that they're here. I've had a mediation with their neighbor, and I'm like, "I'm not doing that." I was like, if you guys can't be an adult to figure it out, you guys are older than me. You gotta lead me by example on how to be an adult. You got years on me. So
I shouldn't be mediating grown folks. Like, and
No, I
so
should
yeah,
not be
that's
mediating.
no.
And
I'm
I
a,
said, I can offer one of you guys to transfer. None of you want to move? Okay, well, then just sit in it then. Period.
that's why, guys, I'm all for telling people exactly how it is. Like, even like in life, at work, let me tell you, Nick, you know, I get my coworkers together.
I know you
I don't
do.
play. I
I
don't
know you
play.
do. And I love hearing about it. And just to be a fly on that wall.
I don't play with people, coworkers, people I
Mm-mm.
live with, any of that. I
Now
ain't
you
even.
now I've been with you a few times when you got people together and I just have to sit there in silence and just let you do it.
Mm-mm. I'm not gonna allow
And then I
people to
look
do.
at you after it's done. I go, now Carmen, you didn't have to do them all like that.
I do.
But you right though.
I
But
do.
you
And
right.
you know what pisses me off too, people? What people don't understand is, Nick, and you could probably, speak to this. So, and there's nothing against, it's not a white or black thing. Let's not make it a race issue. But I'm just gonna, so especially when it comes to work and living situations, right? When a white woman is upset, they want you to understand that they are upset.
Yeah.
And like, you need to understand. And like, even if they're directing their anger towards you and they are singling you out, everyone around you, like I'm at a school now where the office manager is absolutely disgusting. Like the way she talks to people, the way she acts, and I'm trying to be kind. And all the coworkers, you have to understand, she has so much on her plate. She's carrying the school on her shoulders. You have to understand. So I have to understand that she is going to talk to me nastily because she can't answer the phone, too many phone calls, or it's too many emails. Honey, I'm a therapist. I have to manage a whole caseload, and I'm not treating you nasty. So I got her together. I was very nasty to her. I was, and
Yeah.
guess who was? No one wanted to understand me. When it was enough was too
Thank you.
enough. I got her together. They were like, Carmen, that was not nice. Oh, it wasn't. Well, what wasn't nice was the 1,700 times she disrespected me, and I kept saying, I don't understand where this anger is coming from. So let's bring it back. I'm trying to be respectful because I'm at work. And then when the real me came out, how could you? No, how could she? And don't fucking do this shit again, because the difference between me and you, honey, you need this office manager job. I don't. I'm gonna leave.
Yeah. And I'm
I'm not an
glad you
office
said
manager,
that
but
because
I could be an SLP
yeah.
anywhere, so I will leave.
Yeah.
And you'll be stuck here.
Yep. And when it comes to dealing with people you work with, because this happens in property management, and again, not to bring it about race, but in property management, it is a predominantly white field, especially in the corporate world. It is very, very, the term top heavy, you could say white heavy. There's not a lot of diversity up there. So,
I was surprised, Nick, when you were black. I wasn't expecting it. Like, I was like, when I said, oh.
Yeah, the funny thing is, I said the same thing when I met you. I was like, oh, she black. Okay. It was so funny. I was like, yeah. Back to what you were saying about how they made excuses for
her behavior, her bad behavior that I had to get together.
Behavior, but tried to school you. I go through the same thing. And it's just like, and I had to tell one of my bosses before, because I go through many bosses, and I said, it is not fair that I have to deal with other people's emotions, and I am not allowed to express mine.
No.
Now, and I had to tell her, I was like, I know what the reason is. And I'm gonna let you think about it. Because if you think about it and the light bulb goes up, then you know why. Because we have always been told as a people that we cannot be angry. And we cannot.
And we're looked at as incivil.
Exactly. We have to kind of always subdue and hold back. But again, knowing me and you, we kind of exhausted that part of our lives. And I'm gonna tell you, no, if I got something to tell you and it's gonna be a little harsh, I'm gonna try to sugarcoat it for you. I will try to sugarcoat it, but I'm gonna tell you the truth.
Exactly. Exactly.
And that has nothing to do with, and anybody should be able to tell you the truth, or you should be able to express your truth regardless of, your race, your creed, sexual orientation, your gender, and however you identify.
And it should be respected.
Exactly. Because if you are not, and even when it comes to, even sometimes white women can fall in this category. If you are not a white man in this world, then you have to be different.
Mm-hmm.
You have to behave different because they get away with so much.
They do.
Straight white men. Let me clarify that. Straight white men. They get away with so much. But everyone else has to be made examples of.
And I don't like that.
And
because I'm going to get you together. I'm getting you
that.
all the way together, and I'm fine. Thank you, management. I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel, and that's fine. And guess what? After I got her together the next day, I handed her the things I needed her to distribute so she can do her job and stop trying to be my boss because I don't have one, honey. So here's some papers for you to distribute, ma'am, and do your job.
Yeah.
Thank you, management.
Kind of regards. Yeah.
Anyway, enough about them, because Nick and I also like to discuss TV shows and like movie ridiculousness and the hilarity of it all. It's like our favorite thing to do, as we talked about earlier.
Yes.
And I'm trying to think, what was the stupidest like movie or show we've ever watched?
I had to think about this and remember that Jessica Chastain movie, the girl with the red hair, and we thought it was going to be a spy movie, and it turned out to be something totally different.
Oh yes, she's an assassin, and the man, and he's her mentor.
Yeah. And I was just like, wait, what is this? I don't even remember the plot, but I remember me and you sitting up here on my couch mad at the end of the movie.
We were like sitting there just really trying to figure out what the movie. We couldn't get it together. We was just like, what is this movie about? What is it giving?
And then you looked at me at the end and you're like, well, that was unnecessary.
It was.
It
was truly unnecessary. Imagine sitting there for 90 minutes watching something. It's like, I want my 90 minutes back.
Yeah, and I think after that we just turned it on reruns of Nailed It.
Yeah. Oh, guys, Nailed It.
Nailed It.
Guys, if you do not watch Nailed It, speaking of getting people together, I love her, Nicole Byer. She gets people together. Is it Byer or Byers?
Is it Boyer?
I
don't know.
How we love her and don't know her name? That's crazy.
I thought it was Boyer. Oh,
whatever one. I'm sure it's Byer, but that's fine. She gets people together flawlessly. Like, thank you, management. If you want to hear somebody get people together hilariously, please watch Nailed It.
Oh yeah.
Oh my, and her what's the co-host? Not West, not Sexy West. What's the other one?
West. Jacques.
Oh, he's so cute. I love him.
But if you haven't watched Nailed It, you gotta turn it on Netflix and you scroll all the way down to season 1 and all the way down to the bottom and watch the Trump Cake episode. Thank you very much. You will laugh so hard you'll probably pee a little.
I think I've peed a little. It was literally the best. Had to be the best episode I've ever watched. I laughed so hard. Everyone's face, the comedian, he couldn't believe it. He was in disbelief.
He was speechless. Speechless.
I'm reliving it in my head, guys. He was in disbelief. Like, no way.
It was so funny. It was.
I can't.
I'm trying to think. What other shows we watched?
That Bob's Burgers, because Louise is the queen of thank you management. Louise, she's getting you together. Yeah. What kind of child is that?
I always tell people that I am all 3 Belcher children. My body is Jean. I do have some social awkwardness like Tina. But this mouth is Louise.
Okay? Together. She's grabbing you by the throat and snatching you up and getting you together.
Yes.
She's like 5, bruh. Like, wait. I feel like I'm a mixture between Tina and Louise. Like, my mouth is very Louise.
Yeah.
But my temper tantrums and my glasses is Tina.
It just be like,
Full-blown temper tantrums. I am a whole child. I want to grow up. I do. Unfortunately, I haven't.
You know...
But yeah,
do we really like? I just sit here sometimes, and I'm just like,
I don't want to be a big people no more.
No, and I was like, does anybody really know what we're doing? We just here doing it just to survive, like.
No, I feel like we all have a purpose.
We do.
Like your purpose is to manage the property and manage these people with their nasty attitudes. Okay, thank you, management. And my purpose is to serve the people as an SLP, as a skincare provider, as a podcaster. You serve the people with your you make sure all the roller coaster lovers, the thrill riders, that they get to be a part of that. So we have a purpose.
We do.
I feel like one day I can't wait to ride a Nickelodeon coaster. I can't wait. I mean, guys, I hate roller coasters. I hate them. Like, that's my worst fear. Like, to be on a roller coaster, because I feel like falling. I don't want to just fall to my death.
But I feel like I'm slowly desensitizing you. Slowly.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what if we're saying that works.
I feel like I've been very successful.
We're watching them.
Watching them. But I've
got
people that have watched my coasters, and then I take them to Magic Mountain, and they do pretty good.
Well, I guess we'll see. We'll see.
But
now, Nick and I, what we want to do, we want to create a joint podcast, guys, to discuss all our favorite shows and like movies and societal nuances that we hate, whatever. And I can't wait to do that. Yeah. I can't wait. We better still do this, Nick.
No, we are. We gotta decide a name. Maybe
they can help us.
Can decide, because it's either gonna be Beige Capades, because my last name's Brown and Carmen, your last name is White.
Right, you mix that together, you get beige.
Makes beige. Or Bath Capades.
Guys, I already discussed what my Bath Capades are.
We all like a Bath Capade, courtesy of Carmen.
And if those of you who don't know what a bathcapade is, it is the most relaxing. I get my bath bombs. I have my Epsom, so my lavender in there, a little apple cider vinegar to protect the kitty. I have preferably a half a cup, ladies. I have a pillow that I lean back on. It's waterproof. It keeps, I forget the actual material for it, but it's so you can support your back. I have a whole tray where I have my wine, my iPad, so I can read my books. I got my candles. It's a situation.
It really is. I see pictures from the tub. I'm like, dang, like it's really doing it. So yeah. But what we call it, it has to have capades in it.
Yes, because the way we discuss our shows, we got more into management and getting people together and getting our life together and learning about how to manage a property and how you can move forward in the field of real estate as a property manager. But I do want you guys to hear our funny stories and learn more about us through our love of TV, movies, and culty shit we see outside in these streets.
That we can probably talk about anything. Basically, pop culture. It's not gonna be like pop culture. Basically, entertainment, pop culture.
So let us know, like on my Instagram post for this episode. I want you guys, and I'll know if you listened all the way to the end. Let me know, bathcapades or beige capades, please. That you're gonna be the deciding factor, listeners. Bathcapades or beige capades,
or a third option. But if you do a third option, it has to have capades in it.
Yes, we're open to suggestions. Okay.
Yes, we are. Yep.
Now I want to thank you so much for joining me today Tell the
Thank you
people
for
again.
having me.
Of course. Well, I always had. Well, guys, I talk to them almost every day.
We do. Every
But
day.
it was every day. But I'm thankful for you joining me today on here, so people can gain that knowledge on how to move forward. Mm-hmm. Now, tell the people how to find you again.
Yeah, so you can find me. My Instagram is Nickelodeon, so it's NIC_ALODEON. I was about to spell Nickelodeon because you times today, and I was like, wait, how do I spell it?
And you can also find him on YouTube at Vertical Elements.
Vertical Elements. Yes.
Yes. And don't forget to share Where Did I Put My Glasses with your family and friends. Click follow, subscribe, wherever it is that you want to do. Make sure you give us 5 stars. I need 5 stars. Thank you.
Yes, Hunter. 5.
And you can listen on your preferred podcasting platforms to stay tuned on the latest episodes. The website is up and available. Go to wheredidiputmyglasses.com for information on me, the latest episodes. You can ask me questions directly, make suggestions for future shows, and sign up to be on our email list. With time, as we grow, there will be more things available. To interact with me, go to Instagram at Where Did I Put My Glasses for your thoughts, questions, or comments on today's episode. And again, go to that website. Have a great evening, Nickelodeon.
You too, Carmen. I'll see you in the memes.
See you in the memes.